Hey guys, it's Callum here, and today's video is going to be kind of like a new mini-series. I'm kind of like starting kind of thing. Whether it'll be regular or not, I'll soon see, and I'll see how much like information and stuff I can find on the original gods. But basically, I'm just going to be discussing the overview of the gods, and like the main like history of Glenor, how it came to be, and yeah, because recently a new quest was released to do with death and the gods, and it certainly changed a lot in the world of Glenor. And so basically I'm just kind of here today to discuss that and kind of give you guys like a bit of a history lesson, if you will. So basically this is how stuff goes. Thousands of years ago, or yeah, thousands of years ago, the universe was formed by people called elder gods. Elder gods were the most powerful beings in creation, and they were pretty beast basically, and they created artifacts, and these kind of artifacts were the Staff of Armadil, Stone of Jas, things like that, and they were extremely powerful and sought after by other gods. And basically over the like thousands of years they created various planets and stuff, and Gielinor was their jewel. Basically, it was the shining crown, and it was the perfect creation of theirs, and it was awesome. And then a young god called Guthix stumbled up onto it. Now, Guthix actually came into power by slaying a god on his homeworld. I'll go into more detail about that when I talk about Guthix separately. But Guthix came to power by killing a god himself, and thus becoming a god. Now, Guthix is a young god. He finds Glenor and decides to make it his home. He decides to protect the people and basically create people and protect them. So he created the mortals, the dwarves, everyone that you pretty much see on Glenor today. And basically, he ruled over Glenor. He did not wish to be worshipped as the other gods did. He just wanted to be there and kind of look after everybody. Now, there's other gods in this mix, and they found out about Gielinor, and they wanted to come to Gielinor and claim it. And this is where we first see Zamorak and Saradomin, and the various other gods such as Bandos and Armadil. Now, Saradomin was a god. I'm not quite sure how he came to power yet, because I'll find that when I do Saradomin separately in more detail. Basically, Saradomin is the god of like the people, of wisdom and protection. However, he's a little bit iffy. Like, he seems he's all good and like wants to like protect the people. However, he's got kind of a dark, mischievous side which nobody really picks up on too much, which kind of makes him distrustful. However, he's fighting for the people. And basically, then you've got Zamorak, which is the god of chaos. Now, he was a Majorat before he became a god, and he ascended to godhood thousands of years ago, and so here he is today. Now, he's the main, basically, big bad guy of the gods. He's the god of chaos. He wants to kind of like destroy everything and make it all like nasty and whatever else, and all that kind of crappy stuff which nobody particularly wants. And he's done various things over the years, like he killed another god called Zaros. Now, Zaros is, I'm not actually quite sure what he was the god of, but I think they refer to him as the Fallen One. And which is it now? I can't quite remember. And either way, anyway, basically he was killed by Zamorak using the Staff of Armadil a long time ago. However, he still does exist on like another plane, and he's actually planning to return soon. But anyway, Bandos and Armadil are kind of two lesser gods. You don't know quite as much about them, except they are still there and still like one of the big gods basically. However, they're just not as like talked about as much as Guthix, Saradomin and Zamorak was. Now, basically, Guthix like found out that these guys were coming to Gielinor, and he didn't want that. He didn't want them to create war and various other things, so he laid down his edicts, and into these edicts he spilled these powers, expelling all of the other gods from Gielinor. And basically, this meant that no god could step foot on Gielinor except him, while these edicts in place. Now, recently, this is just a spoiler alert as well, this will spoil major plots of the World Wakes and the new quest that was released the other day. So if you haven't played those quests, I suggest you don't carry on. But basically, those edicts were destroyed because a Majorat called Siliske actually got his hands on the Staff of Armadil. and using the Staff of Armadil, he killed Guthix. Now, Guthix was asleep in his chamber near Orjadone, and basically that's what the World Wakes quest is largely about. You go through that, and you play through, and you talk to Guthix, and he makes you a World Guardian, as basically you are protector of Gielinor now, and it is your job to protect Gielinor from all the other gods, and he gives you power, basically, and so it's your job. And so Siliski kills him, and generally when you kill a god, you ascend to godhood yourself. Now this is where the new quest comes into play, because Siliski basically kind of blackmailed everybody, including Ikarin. Now, I haven't actually mentioned Ikarin yet. Ikarin is the god of the underworld, and he works in harmony with death to harvest the souls and take them and guide them safely to the afterlife. Now basically he plays a large role in this quest as well, but I'll go into him a little bit in a bit. And basically Siliski has kind of blackmailed and bribed all the gods, the most gods that have ever assembled in one place, to come to his so-called ascension to godhood, basically. And so he blackmails everybody into coming, and when they're all there, they're obviously fighting, things like that, and we actually get to see Armadil and Bandos for the first times in this. We'd already seen Saradomin, Zamorak, Guthix and the other gods before. However, there was a few gods that weren't present, such as Seren and Zaros. Zaros obviously hasn't returned to Gielinor yet. However, we do know, well, it was hinted at that he will be coming soon, as well as Seren, the god of the elves, and basically she hasn't appeared yet either, except they have hinted that she's coming as well. Now basically it's all like kind of revolutionary. Basically this is the most gods that have ever been gathered together before, and basically Ikarin was there as well, and there was a murder basically, and it was Siliski trying to create war between Saradomin and Seren. And basically he's trying to stir things up, and he blackmailed everybody into coming to his fake ascension basically, and he's kind of stirred the pot a little bit, because thousands of years ago the God Wars started between all the factions, and that's how like the God Wars dungeons were actually formed, and how the wilderness was formed. And basically now that the gods are back there fighting again, and it looks like there's going to be another God War breakout, because basically Siliski has formed everybody together and promised if the gods fight and kill each other, whoever stands victorious, he will award the Stone of Jas, which is one of the Elder God artifacts, which like when a god obtains this, it'll give them great power basically, and as the user uses the Stone of Jas more often, a race called the Dragonkin actually increase in strength along with it, so they're kind of like the protectors. However, they've just kind of failed to do the job at the moment, because Siliski managed to get it anyway. Basically nobody knows if Siliski is ascended to godhood yet. It's hinted at, but nobody actually knows for sure, so that's something we're going to be seeing in the future. But basically my opinions are that Saradomin can't be trusted. It's always hinted at he's a good god and wants the best. He just doesn't do the right things to achieve it, and he seems to enjoy the fact that they're at war. Zamorak is the straightforward god. He wants evil, he's god of chaos, whatever else. Bandos just wants a big war basically, so he can kill everything and have a big fight and a big glorious battle. Armadil wants peace and justice, and I actually like Armadil a lot. He's one of the only gods that has actually been forward and told the truth, and is actually willing to fight for the right things. So I'm actually supporting Armadil in this whole kind of thing. Like, obviously I'm a Guthixian supporter, and I support Guthix throughout the whole thing, but if I had to root for somebody who was actually here at the moment, it would be Armadil to win, just because he's the god of justice and everything else. And as well, who else was there now? You were there, your actual player was there, because you're a World Guardian, providing you have done the World Wakes. And Ikarin was there. Ikarin is the god of the underworld, and basically he plays a large role in the quest, and in the quest you have to save Death because he's been kidnapped by Siliski. And basically Siliski has imprisoned Death, and he releases a Dragonkin. Now, because he's been using the Stone of Jas, the Dragonkin's extremely powerful, and all the gods flee. However, Ikarin stays behind, and he helps you defeat him and free. Well, you don't actually defeat the Dragonkin, you just free Death and manage to escape. But this kind of shows something about Ikarin. He's the only god that stayed and defend it. So he's kind of, as a certain friend of mine mentioned on Twitter, he's kind of the hero of the people, and he doesn't actually have a faction or anything, so he's kind of the unrecognised hero. So personally, I think I agree with my friend completely that Ikara deserves his own faction and everything else. But basically, what Siliske has initiated is another god war, because all of the gods obviously want the Stone of Jas so they can become powerful, and so what this has kind of done is, in the up and coming months, we're probably going to see something similar to the Battle of Lumbridge, maybe on a bigger scale this time though, maybe involving more of the world and more gods, because I've got a feeling it's going to kind of be like God Wars, just on the surface rather than a dungeon, because shit's about to go down basically, and no one particularly knows how it's going to turn out. Siliske is playing everybody, and most of the gods don't seem to realise it, apart from Akarin, and so it's all kind of going crazy at the moment, except my personal thinking is either Guthix or an Elder God is going to come at the end of all this. And basically, because if you think about it, Zamorak killed Zaros. However, Zaros is still alive on another world. So he obviously kind of killed him, and since he killed him with the Staff of Armadyl, that stands a good chance that Guthix is still alive somewhere as well, and maybe just trapped in the same dimension or something as him. So I think at the end of all this, to conclude it all off, as say the world's about to be destroyed in a future up and coming quest, I think Guthix is going to come back and stop everything. I think he'll be reincarnated, basically, maybe into his old body, and you will see him, and he will just stop everything and kick the crap out of everybody, basically. That, or an Elder God will turn up, and basically, an Elder God will just, like, put all the kids in their place, basically, and, like, kind of sort everything out. But I don't know that for sure, so don't take my word for it, like, but I just know that a lot of crazy stuff is going to go down in the coming months, and there's a lot to look forward to, which has certainly got me excited. There's so much unknown, there's so much mystery to talk about and everything, and quite frankly the gods look awesome. They've done a really good job with everything, and so that's kind of like a brief history of it. Obviously I haven't done too much research into this. This is just all knowledge I've picked up from quests over the years and various other things. Some of it may, well, I'm pretty sure most of it's correct. If it's wrong, please feel free to correct me in the comment section. And basically what I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to go into each god in depth, and so I'm going to do my research basically, and search up each god or whatever else, doing like a good bit of research, and then I'm going to make like a review of the gods, and then I'm going to pick at the end of all this, hopefully I'm going to pick my top 5 contenders, basically, like who I think's going to come out on top of all this. And so yeah, we will soon see. Quite frankly, I'm fighting for Guthix, however I will support Armadyl in the up and coming months. You will feel free to choose whoever you want, but I'm just saying Saradomin can't be trusted, and nor can any of the other gods aside from Armadyl, in my opinion. So I'll leave it down to you guys, but if you enjoy this kind of history lesson, if you will, then flick the video a like. And I'm kind of getting back into RuneScape now, to be honest. I took a little break, which is why I was only uploading once a week, and I'll probably continue to upload around that like pace just because of college and everything. But this quest has really piqued my interest again, and for those of you playing Go 7 Scape and trying to get a God sword and other things now, I hope you get tons of drops and you make bank and really have a good time. But yeah, that's it from me today, guys. I hope you have a really good day, and I'll see you all soon.
Tonight, take me to the other side.